What's up guys, this is Killsar. They just revealed a lot of new cards and I figured I would just go over my first impression together with you guys. I looked at them briefly, but I'm gonna give my first impression and see if there are any exciting cards among the bunch that was just released. So to start off, we got a Gold Dawn for OP13. This is new. That's pretty cool. Okay, purple cards. Douglas Bullet. Free cost 4k power, counter 1000. Film/former Roger Pirate. If you have 8 or more Dawn cards on your board, this character has plus 2k power. On play, if your leader has Roger Pirates in its type, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck as rested. So another Roger Pirate, which ramps. This will see play in Roger. I'm 100% sure. They got like the free cost ramper already, which KOs a 1 cost, I think. But this seems generally better than that. We'll be able to swing with it in the late game. Like if you have 8 or more Dawn on your board, this character becomes like a 6k body. So yeah, I think this card is very strong. 6k body also on the opponent's turn. Yeah, this will definitely see play in Roger. And it's also searchable with the Shanks, even though it says former, because the Shanks searcher looks for cards including the type Roger Pirates. So yeah, very strong card for Roger, making the early ramp even more consistent. Okay, here we have Tom, purple character. 2 cost 2k power, counter plus 1k, Fishman and Water 7. On play, Dawn -1, add up to 1 stage card with cost of 3 or less from your trash to your hand. So I guess this is Iceberg support. More likely, it's just a teaser for a upcoming leader. I know a lot of people have been thinking about Purple Frankie, which like utilizes stages a lot. And I guess this could be a hint that this might be the case. So there's nothing confirmed about this, it's just like a rumor. People are talking a lot about it. This is not that great in Iceberg either. Why would you have the stage in trash? Seems really bad right now, but could be better in the future. Amatsuki Toki, purple character, 2 cost 3k power, counter 1000. It's Wano Country and Roger Pirates. If one of your characters with the Roger Pirates in its type were to be KO'd by an opponent's effect, you may trash this card instead. Okay, so KO protection for Roger. I'm not 100% sure it's needed. And like if you compare this to the green KO protector that Zoro has, which is a blocker, 2 cost blocker, which has the same effect. So I think this is on the weak side of KO protection cards. Unless the meta is very heavy on KO effects, I don't really see this being played. Maybe if it was a 2k, but right now this seems pretty mid to me. Okay, Nekomamushi, purple character, free cost 3k power. It's a 2k counter, which has Minx and Roger Pirates. If you have 8 or more Dawn on your board, KO up to 1 of your opponent's characters with an original power of 3k or less. So effect is pretty mid. I guess it's good to like KO champ blockers to go for game in the late game. It is a 2k, so the question is just how many 2ks Roger needs. Obviously the buggy 2k is always being played, and this is another searchable 2k, so maybe it has a spot just because of that. And sometimes can go for lethal with it in the late game. So depending on how many 2ks you need, this might see play. Okay, here we have a long event name. Guess we'll have another scrap. You can only risk death while you're still alive. Purple event, 1 cost, Pirate King/Roger Pirates. Main, you may rest 1 of your Dawn cards if your leader is Goldie Roger and you have any given Dawn, add up to 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck rested. Counter, your leader gains 3k power during this battle. So yeah, this is just an instant 4-off in Roger. Another ramp to play on turn 2, and it's also a counter event. Yeah, this is just instant 4-off in Roger. Even more consistency for early ramp. Seems great. Nothing more to say, this is just always a 4-off in Roger. We have a 4-cost event. Whitebeard Pirates. Main, you may return 1 of your characters to the owner's hand. Return up to 1 character of 6 cost or less back to the owner's hand. Trigger, draw 1 card. So notably, I guess this is not leader locked. It's basically a Josu effect. Oh, it is even Josu on the picture, right? It's Josu effect on a stick. So for 2 more Dawns, you can get a 7k body and counter as well. I guess the cards we compare this to are 6 cost Josu and also 3000 Worlds, which bottom decks a 5 cost. And I don't really see being able to target something that costs 1 more that relevant. There aren't that many 6 costs in the meta right now. So I think this card is filler. Okay, Boa Hancock, blue character, 3 cost, 5k power. 7 Emperor/Kuja Pirates. On KO, if your leader is Boa Hancock or multicolored, draw 2. Pretty good. You know, draw 2, very strong effect. Pilaf is played in some decks. Pilaf with a 5k body seems pretty good. No trigger, but that seems fair. No counter, that also seems fair. This card seems like decent. You know, it's just a generally good card. The question is if it will find a spot. Like if they have more Boa support, maybe. Oh, it's 7 Emperors. It's probably 7 Warlords, right? Mistranslation. So it is searchable with some stuff. Seems pretty good. I'm not entirely sure what deck would want to run this. Like maybe Blue Yellow Nami. It's an okay card. Easy to get bricks out of hand. Obviously Boa maybe wants to run this. Yeah, seems like a decent card. Maybe like the Blue Red Ace would want to run this. It's a solid 3-drop. Draw 2. and you can also pitch it with leader skill with the OP13 blue-red ace. Decent card. I would not be surprised if this saw play. Okay, Marshall D. Teach. Blue character, 4 cost 5k power, counter 1000 and trait Whitebeard Pirates. When attacking, you may trash one character with the Whitebeard Pirates in its type, draw one card, and then this character gains banish. Pretty good. Draw one card is of course good, and at least the blue-red ace runs a lot of searchers with the Whitebeard Pirates trait, so it could be pretty easy to fulfill this condition. And it's also another target for the 5 cost ace to play out from the top of deck. Banish, I'm not like the biggest fan of this keyword, but draw one card is very strong. I can see this slot into a deck which runs a lot of Whitebeard Pirates and also wants to run the 5 cost ace. So like Marco, the new ace, and maybe even ace and Whitebeard could play this. Seems okay. Draw one card, always strong. Okay, Otama, blue character, 1 cost 0 power, Land of Wano, 2k counter. On play, if you have 3 or less life, draw 2 cards and trash 1 card from your hand. Okay, so when I was briefly looking through this card, this is like one of the cards that stood out the most to me. This seems very strong. It's basically Kaya, but better. And Kaya has been played a lot throughout the history of One Piece card game. Land of Wano, which is also like a tribe that's getting a lot of support lately. I definitely see this being played in both of the Nami leaders and possibly even more. Like this could be played in blue-purple Sanji as well. Some lists already run Kaya in him, so this is Kaya, which draws you a card. This card seems absolutely insane to me, I think. I think this card will see a lot of play. I guess you play this in blue Nami as well. Yeah, you can run 8 Kayas in Nami now. I guess it will be rotated out, but I hope they just ban this leader, to be honest. Yeah, this seems very, very strong. Okay, we got Curiel. Blue character, 3 cost 4k power, Whitebeard Pirates. When attacking, give up to 1 of your Restodon to your leader or characters with the Whitebeard Pirates in its type. On KO, draw 1 card. And no counter. It's basically a 3 cost 5k, which draws a card on KO. But like comparing this to the Bua that we saw earlier, this seems not as good. I think Red Blue Ace already runs characters which attaches Restodon, so I don't really see this being needed. Okay, we got Bua Marigold. Blue character, 5 cost 5k. It says 5k power, it's a 4k power. Counter 1000, Kuja Pirates. Blocker, on play. If your leader is Boa Hancock, play up to 1 Boa Hancock with a cost of 6 or less from your hand. Okay, this seems very strong for Boa. Play out the 6 cost 8k Boa, which stuns a target. And it's also a blocker, a 4k blocker. Yeah, this seems very strong to me. Also like helps you empty your hand with Boa, so it's easier to draw cards with leader effect. Yeah, I'm not sure if Boa will be a deck, but if it's a deck, this is definitely a 4-off. Like even just playing the newly revealed 3 cost Boa, which draws 2, it's still a pretty strong play. This is basically Jimba. I guess it's like a situational Jimba, which is sometimes better than Jimba and sometimes worse than Jimba. I guess this can play out the starter deck Boa as well, the 4 cost 6k blocker. So there's not that many targets for it, but if you manage to hit the 6 cost with it, it's very, very strong. So yeah, pretty good card. Okay, we get Boa Sunder Sonia, blue character, 2 cost 3k power, Kuja Pirates, 1k counter. On play, if your leader is Boa Hancock, play up to 1 3 cost or lower Boa Hancock character card from your hand. Okay, so this plays out the new 3 cost Boa that we saw earlier. Pretty good. Also, if you have something on your board that you can bounce with effects, like 4 cost Law, for example. 4 cost Law and Josu can bounce this back. It's pretty nice. And it's also like these cards which play out something from your hand is especially strong in Boa because they want to be on a low hand size to utilize leader skill, as I mentioned earlier. Are there any more 3 cost Boa? So at the moment, this can only play the new 3 cost Boa and the blocker from the starter deck. 3 cost 1k blocker. So I guess both of these cards have the problem of having pretty few targets. But if you do have the targets, this is very strong. Like to turn 1, play out the 5k body, that's like unheard of until now. So yeah, definitely a strong card. It's the question of how consistent you can do it. Okay, Rakio, blue character, 3 cost 4k power, Whitebeard Pirates, counter plus 1k. When attacking, if you have 4 or less cards in your hand, give all your characters with Whitebeard Pirates in their types plus 1k power for the turn. If you have 4 or less cards in your hand. It's a pretty steep condition, and I don't really know what kind of Whitebeard type decks that really swarm board. If you have 4 or less cards in your hand, I think that's a condition that's very hard to fulfill. I guess like you have some like kind of swarm potential with Ace and Newgate leader with the 5 cost Ace, but yeah, I don't really see this being that good. Okay, we have Little ORs Jr., blue character, 7 cost 7k power, Giant / Whitebeard Pirates subordinates, counter 1k. When attacking, if your leader has Whitebeard Pirates in their types, draw 1 card. 7 cost 7k is pretty bad stats. Draw 1 card is strong, but very slow to play this out. So yeah, I don't really see this being too great. There's a lot of good 7 drops for Whitebeard pirates already, so I don't think this makes the cut. Okay, Fossa, blue character. 2 cost 3k power, Whitebeard Pirates. If one of your characters with Whitebeard Pirates in their types would be KO'd by an opponent's effect, you may instead trash this card. Again, this is basically the same card that we got for Roger. Zorro has this, but as a blocker, which is always played in the deck. Without the blocker, I think it's pretty meh. It's also the fact that it's KO'd and not removed from field. So, I mean, of course, if we're in a heavy KO meta, you could play this, but at the moment, I don't really see that being the case. Okay, Saint Rosward, Celestial Dragon, 3 cost 0k power, 1k counter. On play, you may trash 1 card from your hand. If you only have Celestial Dragon type characters in play, KO up to 2 characters with an original cost of 3 or less. Okay, good thing they printed original cost for this one, otherwise it would be insanely broken with the previous Celestial Dragons, which gives like -4 cost to everything on board. Because its original cost, I mean, it's still pretty strong. Like 3 Don to remove 2 free costs is pretty good. The question is just how many free costs we will see in the meta. I guess it's pretty good against Rayleigh and stuff, or against like general aggro decks, so I could see this being played, not as a 4-off, but maybe like 2 or something. Not the greatest card, not the worst card. Okay, York, black character, 1 cost 1k power, counter 1000, Egghead Scientist. On play, give up to 1 of your Celestial Dragon type characters, plus 2k power during this turn. Yeah, this seems pretty bad. I think this is filler. If it had 2k counter, maybe we'd be able to see some play, but yeah, I don't see this being played ever. They don't have the name on this, but I guess it's Koala. Black character, 5 cost, 6k power, 1000 counter, Dressrosa / Revolutionary Army. Okay, Dressrosa, that's nice. Oh, it is Revolutionary Army locked though. If your leader has the Revolutionary Army type, this character has +3 cost. Activate main once per turn. You may place 1 card from your trash to the bottom of your deck. Give up to 1 rested on to your leader or characters. Ugh, why do they make all of these? All of these Revolutionary Army cards would be so good in Start Deck 14 Luffy, but they're all leader locked. So sad. Okay, so this is basically the same as the 6 cost Sabo in OP13, but 6 cost Sabo is 1k more, has blocker, but doesn't have counter. Oh, I guess it's only the first part that is leader locked. So you could play this in Start Deck 14 Luffy still. Place 1. It's basically Hina for 1 more, costs 1 more, but has counter. I'd be down to play less bricks in that deck. I don't think this card is like insane in any way. I'm not sure if the new OP13 Sabo really needs another thing that attaches Dawn. They have a very strong 5 drop already with Karasu, so I think this card is mid. Could see play, but I'm not convinced really. It's another target for 8 cost dragon, but yeah, I don't know. Okay, Morgans, black character, 3 cost 4k power, counter plus 1k journalist. So it's a blocker who draws 2 and trashes 2. Again, pretty good effect, well statted. Draw 2, trash 2. This is also something, I looked at this card and thought about Star Trek 14 Luffy as well. It's pretty hard to fill trash with that leader, and you have a lot of bricks, so this is a way to cycle your hand, see more cards in your deck. Other than that deck, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe you could play this in Emu actually to fill trash quicker, because I've seen some list running Sabo. You don't really need the KO protection. Going first with Emu, I think the free down turn is pretty awkward because you can't play out any of the Celestial Dragons, so this could be a decent play. I think this card is pretty good. Not searchable by anything though, which is a bit awkward, but solid card. Okay, so Gum Gum Snake Shot. Green event, 2 cost, Fishman Island, Supernova / Drawhead Crew. Oh, it's a counter card. KO up to 1 of your opponent's rested characters for the cost of 4 or less. Trigger activate this card's counter effect. Okay, this is like decent, I think. Say you're playing against like, I guess Rayleigh is the most popular deck that runs a 4 cost, and they swing 9 with their Luffy or something, and use this KO the Luffy and also negate the swing. It seems okay. 2 dons is pretty costly, but like green purple Doffy could play this. I guess the new Luffy, OP13 Luffy, could maybe play this. It's a bit awkward though. It's pretty dead in some matchups. Pretty interesting card to like deny the swing like this. There is a Don Quixote counter event which gives plus 4k power and KOs a rested character at the cost of 3 or less. At the cost of not giving plus 4k power, this KOs a 1 cost more. On paper that seems like a pretty bad trade-off, but there's quite a big difference between 4 cost or 3 cost. I think this card is okay. I don't really see it seeing play, but it's not that bad. Kobe, green character, 5 cost 6k power, counter plus 1k film / navy. It's a blocker which has on play if your leader has the film type or the strike attribute. set up to one of your Don as active. Okay, so my first instinct was Smoker, but since it's leader locked to strike or film, it doesn't really work with Smoker. Because it would be pretty good on Smoker since it would be 7k because of the Navy attribute. But I guess this is intended for Green Uta or the new Luffy. It's pretty nice. They revealed a lot of bricks for the new Luffy, so it's nice to see a card with counter, which is also has a decent effect. I wonder what other strike... Does this work with like Sanji, Zoro Sanji? Because it has both strike and slash, I think. So I think it should work. So I guess you'd play this in Zoro Sanji also. They've been getting a lot of support. This is also like it's pretty fair card. Not game breaking anyway. It doesn't have like a obvious spot, but I could see this being run in Luffy or in Uta. Okay, more film support. We got Chopper, Animal, Film, Stride Crew, 5 cost, 6k power, plus 1k counter. On play, set up the 2 of your Don as active. So you can either play this and get 2 Don active, or you can play this and get 1 Don active and you have a blocker. Both cards seem like on the same power level, but I feel like I would rather play this. Set up the 2 Don active, seems pretty strong. It's also another Chopper for the Chopper leader, which is good. I guess it's also green purple Luffy support, but they already got the 5 cost Sanji, which has basically the same effect. I don't really know how many of these effects you need, the new Luffy and Uta, but I'm assuming one of them will be run. And if the deck like has a lot of bricks, maybe this could be an alternative. Yeah, and also like compare this to Cavendish. Obviously Cavendish is a lot better, but it's not leader locked, so pretty decent effect. Frankie, green character, free cost 5k power, no counter, film / draw at crew. On KO, rest up to 2 of your opponent's cards. Okay, so cards is pretty interesting. I guess this means Dons as well. It's also another target for the 4 cost film Brook. Yeah, this is pretty annoying to deal with. Of course, it's easy to play around since it's on KO. So like how you want to play around this is to swing with everything first and use all of your Dons. But if you do that, you have all the information from the opponent, so you can choose to counter out of the swing. Like they have to swing into this, the last thing they do, if they want to clear it. It's like a pretty annoying card. It is a brick though. I wonder if this would be better as a 4k and have 1k counter. I guess it would be easier to trade into it then. Yeah, this card also seems decent. Like a lot of cards from this set just seem, it really feels like they've upped the power level. A lot of these cards are just like, speaking of like general value, they seem pretty good. Question is just if they have a home in any deck. We've got Gordon, green character, 1 cost, 0 power, counter 2k and film type. On play, you may reveal 1 card with the film or music type from your hand. At the end of this turn, set up to 2 of your Don cards as active. Okay, so I guess if Uta has some good counter events, this could be okay. But like, do you really want to play out a 2k to be able to use counter events? It's also on play, it's not reusable. I guess the one thing this has is that it's another 2k counter, which Uta can draw with her leader ability. I guess a lot of cards for the new Luffy is film, and you only need to reveal 1 of them. So for that leader, it could be okay. If you decide to run like film searchers and stuff in the new Luffy, this could be run. But yeah, if you don't play film searchers in the new Luffy, I don't really see this being played. Okay, we have Brook, green character, free cost 4k power, counter 1000, film / draw at crew. On play, if your leader has the film or straw at crew type, set up to 1 of your Don cards as active. So another film straw at crew, add up to 1 Don card as active type card. I don't know what to say. They have a lot of these now. I'm not sure which ones they will choose to run. This is another target for 4 cost Brook, which is pretty good, but yeah, seems pretty mid. I guess it feels like it's better in Uta than Luffy. You can play this on 3 Dons and still use leader effect, swing 6. Yeah, not too exciting. Okay, Edison, yellow character, free cost 2k power, counter plus 2000, egghead / scientist. Activate main, you may trash this character. If your life is lower than your opponent's, draw 1 card. Then rest up to 1 of your opponent's character with a cost of 3 or less. Trigger, draw 1 card and rest up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 3 or less. Okay, so it's another 2k for egghead leaders. Doesn't seem like the best. For egghead 2ks currently, we have Frankie, 4 cost Frankie and 4 cost Edison. And I would assume you'd rather want to play this over this. So it's just a question of if you want to run more than 8 2ks. Maybe this slots in. I don't really see the effect as that strong. Rest up to 1 of your opponent's character with cost of 3 or less if your life is lower than your opponent. So it's not even that useful to like go for lethal and rest blockers with. Trigger isn't really that amazing either. I guess Vegapunk could play this if they need more 2ks, searchable 2ks. Yeah, not too impressed. I think Frankie and the other Edison is better. Okay, here we have Connie, yellow character, 1 cost 1k power. counter plus 1000, Bonnie Pirates. Opponent's turn. When a trigger effect activates, this character gains blocker for this turn. Trigger, play this card. Okay, so it's a 1-cost jump blocker with counter for Bonnie. It is a conditional effect, but the deck runs a lot of triggers. And if you play this out early, you have a high chance of seeing a trigger some point in the game. I wonder if if you trigger this, does this activate? Like, does it activate of itself? Because then it would be pretty annoying. If this is the case, you could probably play this card just for that fact. But it's also like, people usually swing with their large swings lastly, and you probably counter the early swings. So maybe when you take a life and the trigger effect activates, it's too late to block with this. So it seems like we have some 1-cost blockers with counter already, and this seems like not the best one of them. Although if this trigger activates the effect of itself, I can see this being played. Definitely. Okay, people are saying in the comments that it doesn't trigger off itself, so I don't really see this being that good then. You already have the 1-cost Vegapunk blocker for the deck, so yeah, probably not seeing play this card. Okay, we got a new Momo card. Yellow character, 3 cost, 0 power. Land of Wano / Kusuke clan. Counter 1k. On play, look at all of your life cards and place them back in your life area in any order. So my first comparison to this would be 1-cost Makino, which is a 2k, which takes a life and looks at all of your life cards. So for 2 more cost, you get minus 1k counter for the price of not having to take the top of your life. Yeah, this just seems like filler to me. I don't see how this ever would make sense to play. You can't even put it in life with the 5-cost Momo blocker, so yeah, seems like a pretty bad card. The one who is most free is the Pirate King. Yellow event, 1-cost, Supernova / Draw It crew. Main, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, add up to 1 Supernova type card to your hand, then place the rest of the cards at the bottom of your deck. Trigger, activate, effect. So Supernova Searcher event. I guess like the only place for this would be in Kid, because Green Yellow Law wants their bodies on play so they can use effect with them. So if Kid needs more searchers, this would be played. I can see them playing this. 4 copies of the Luffy and 4 copies of this. Doesn't seem insane. It's pretty good. Paper Arts After Image. Yellow event, 2-cost Egghead / CPO. Counter up to 1 of your leader or character cards gain plus 3k power during this battle. Then if your opponent has 2 or less life cards, up to 1 of your leaders or characters gain plus 1k for this turn. Trigger, draw 1 card. Pretty strong counter event. If your opponent has 2 or less life cards, it's good for Bonnie because it's aggressive and your opponent will most likely have 2 or less life cards pretty often. So if you have like multiple of these, if you have 2 of these in hand, you can become 7k. Seems like a pretty strong counter event, honestly. I could see this being run as like a 2-off in Bonnie. It is not leader locked also. I guess the closest thing you can compare this to is the Flame Split event, which just rests a 4k body and gives plus 1k for the turn. I guess that card is a bit more flexible. This is also Egghead type though, so it is searchable in Vegapunk and Bonnie. So if they need another counter event other than the 1-cost plus 3k event, this could be played, but yeah, I don't really think you would need more counter events than the 1-cost already. Also, you could compare this to the Rayleigh event, which costs 1 and gives plus 2k and then minus 1 to everything. So for 1 more done, you get plus 1 power, which is a pretty bad trade-off in my opinion. So seems mid, not the best. Okay, moving on. Porcas the Rogue. Red character, 1 cost, 0 power, counter plus 2k. Batterilla. Trigger up to 1 of your Porcas the Ace cards gains plus 3k power until the end of this turn. Yeah, this seems like filler. Non-searchable 2k counter with a very conditional trigger for a leader that has free life. So yeah, I'm not really seeing this being played. Okay, Inazuma. Red character, 4 cost 5k power, Revolutionary Army, counter plus 2k. On play, give your leader up to 1 rested on. So it's another 2k for Revolutionary Army. I guess it's meant for Sabu. It's a pretty mid 2k. Okay to play out. Feels like in the early days of One Piece this would be a 1k. Not insane, not bad. It's a 2k, searchable 2k. Meteor Fist, red event, 3 cost Navy. Main, give up to 1 of your opponent's characters minus 5k power for this turn. Trigger, activate this card's main effect. So the first 2 cards I compare this to is Molgan, which also gives minus 5k power, but also KOs a 2 cost. And also Gamma Knife, which gives minus 5k power, but costs 2 and goes Don minus 1. I guess this could be pretty nice for Kobe since it's a searchable minus 5k power, but they do have Doll already, which has the same effect for 1 more Don, and it's also a blocker. I think this is pretty mid. Not very strong, not weak, it's just a balanced card. Okay, and so to finish off, we have some vanillas here. A bit notable is we got a 5/7 Egghead vanilla that can be played from leader skill, which is pretty strong, and also 2k vanillas for Egghead. So this could be pretty strong in Vegapunk, but other than that, nothing too exciting. Okay, so that's it for this video. I haven't done one of these card review videos before, but back in the days I watched a lot of Hearthstone and watched Trump doing this, and I always loved them, so figured it would be fun to do one of my own. But that's it for this video. Please leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.